Hi, greetings, friend and fellow mover. So what I have for you today is a guided warm-up, and this is a really complete, comprehensive warm-up routine that you can put in front of any of your longer workouts. You could do this also pre-endurance sport. So if you're going for a run, going for a bike ride, going for a hike, you could precede that activity with this activity, and it gets all your joints, the major synovial joints, movable joints in your body like your shoulders, the segments of your spine, your hip joints, your knees, your ankles, all mobilized and ready to move. And it raises your core temperature, so you're going to feel that you get some good heat, maybe even a little light spritz of sweat by the end of this. And of course, we're encouraging increased circulation. So upping the fluid content in terms of blood flow, and also, again, synovial circulation to all your softer tissues. So your muscles and the surrounding tissues of the joints, as well as inside the joints themselves. So we've got a lot of good physiological effects coming from this. The most important thing, though, I think is not even physiological, it's psychological. So you want to get your head on for the workout or the activity, the event, the grand adventure that you have awaiting you for your day. And this time is an opportunity to put yourself into that headspace and to get yourself internally situated so that you can have a really good movement session today. Let's begin. So we're going to come up to a stand position. You'll like to have a mat or at least some kind of non-slip surface underneath you, because we will be seeing a little smidge of plank in this one. Other than that, though, you don't need anything except a bit of space and a bit of time. All right. So speaking of time, we're working with the timer, the digital timer for this. We have 45 seconds on a repeat. And so we're just going to do everything for 45 seconds. And as soon as you hear a beep, there's no rest with these kinds of intervals. We just go straight to the next move. Okay, we've got 18 rounds. So it's 6 moves. 3 times, 6 times, if you're like me, math is bad. 6 times 3, though, is 18, which means it's a total of 13 and a half minutes. All right, like I said, it's a comprehensive, complete warm-up. It might be a little more than you're used to. All right, I'll speak to that in a moment, but let's do our first move and just hug a knee to your chest and then alternate. So you might be used to doing more like 3 to 5 minute warm-ups. And if that's all your body needs on a given day, under a given set of circumstances, of course, that's absolutely fine. Whatever works for you works. So do it, embrace it, love it, live it. It's all good. But if you feel that you need more for any reason, maybe you're tight, sore, or tired from a previous workout or previous activity. Maybe you didn't sleep so great and you're sluggish. Maybe you have some joint concerns. Oh, let's do our next move and I'll keep talking. Come into your dynamic twist, side to side. Nice casual arms, just roughly parallel to the floor as you rotate your hips and your spine. So yes, maybe you have some joint concerns. I know for my body, I tend to be pretty injury prone. I've had a lot of chronic grumpies in my joints. And so I really value extra warm-up time to keep myself safe. And again, a lot of that has to do with awakening my awareness so that I can move more vigorously in my upcoming workout without being too overly concerned that I might injure myself. Next move, coming center, take a moment if you need to adjust for the pressure change there. And then, cupping your elbows, or not the pressure change, I should say, with that one. Sometimes the twisting just makes us a little dizzy. And I can speak to that again in a moment when we do the next round. But for here, you cup your elbows, drag your hands along your forearms, take your arms out to the sides and down. And I'm alternating here the forearm that I'm placing in front. So I just switch that cross each time. Call this one, take off your shirt. Good. Next move is a hinge squat. So here we go, hinge. That's a flat back, hinging, karate chop your hips down, and then do a squat at the bottom, any arms you want. Stand, reach over your head, and repeat. Hinge, squat, stand. Please go at your own speed, whatever that might be for right now. Again, if you have some cranky joints, you have some angry tissues, you're probably going to move a little bit slower, especially on the first 1 to 2 rounds. Again, we're doing 3 rounds total. Next move from here will be a leg swing. So again, we're going to alternate on this one. You do a little step, step with your feet, and then swing. Step, step, swing. Changing legs each time. So just to finish the thought, your body and your mind and your nervous system and just you, your beautiful self, you might need more of a warm-up on certain days than others. Certainly, I'm in New England, so seasonal stuff is also an influence, and cold, dry weather means cold, dry tissues. And more moist weather is much easier to work with, right? So it depends. Next move, come into a plank. It depends a lot on various factors. In your plank, step 1 foot outside the same hand, step back plank. We're going to change this move a little next round. But for this first round, I'd like you to stay just with this. Keep it simple. I'm not going to downward dog or a pike with this. I'm going to plank and changing sides from there. So the moral of the story is honor your body's messages. And if you feel that you benefit from a longer warm-up like this one, then provide yourself time and grace. Provide yourself the opportunity, let's stand up, to do so. And knee squeezes, here we go. So we're back to the top. For me, I think it took a little while before I really gave myself mental permission to do the kind of warm-up that I really needed. But once I did, oh my God, you guys, once I did, it was a game changer for me. And I love my warm-ups now with all this good mobility, active mobility work. Like, it is one of my favorite parts of my workouts, is just how I start out. Let's twist it. Ready? And go. Now on this one, if you'd like a different arm variation, this is one of my favorites. I do a long arm swing. So as I rotate my torso, I let my back arm go straight out behind me. And just to give the other arm something to do, I put the hand on my sternum. You don't have to do that. It's kind of sweet. It's kind of nice. Almost like bow and arrow situation here with one bent arm and one straight arm. This is particularly nice if, like me, you do a lot of chest pressing. So bench presses, dumbbell presses, obviously push-ups. All right, let's come back center. Whew. Again, regulate for a moment if you need to, if you got a little woozy, and then join me for taking off our shirt. Yeah. So again, it's nice to actually run your hands along your forearms as you do this. So it's just a really nice way to tactilely awaken some of the tissues that are more superficial, right? So you're rubbing yourself in a very appropriate way, and increasing intelligence. You're exciting those nerves, getting your forearms all ready for whatever's coming. Let's do our hinge to squat. Here we go. Hinge, squat, and stand at your own pace. The warmer you get, the quicker you go. So you saw there that I gave my forearms just a super quick dry rub. Sometimes I do that in my warm-ups, and you might too. You might give your calves, your hamstrings, your quads just a good little rubby rub, right? It looks maybe a little strange, but hey, if you're working out at home like I am, who cares? No one's looking. We're gonna stand up and Frankenstein. So Frankenstein is your alternating leg swing. Dynamic hip flexor activator, and of course, dynamic hamstring lengthener. It's also, you might notice, a good bit of cardio. So this whole routine, again, is increasing core temperature. I'm hoping that you're getting a little bit out of breath and that you're really starting to feel alert, awake, alive, and ready for whatever's coming in your day. Our next move coming up is plank, and again, we're making a change. So let's come down into plank. Step 1 foot forward, that's your gecko lunge or your lizard lunge or your spider monkey. It's got a lot of names. They're all fine. The hand that's inside the foot, reach it forward and around in a rainbow twist. Look back, and then retrace, step into plank, switch. Same thing, the arm that's inside that forward leg, rainbow, look back, little twist. Do another. We'll try to get one more each side at least here. I think in a perfect world we do 3 to 5 on each side, but it does depend on how you've set your timer. Today, our timer is 45 seconds. I'm gonna finish, that was the timer. I'm gonna finish though with that second side, stand up, knee squeeze, and let's go back to the top, alternate your knee squeezes, and we'll do it all one more round. Again, I'm starting to feel pretty ready to work today, and I hope you are too. My plan is to follow this up with a pretty comprehensive total body workout. So I'm going to be doing some body weight stuff, some equipment-based stuff, some high-intensity cardio drills. So I really need every segment and every system of my body ready to rock. Let's do our twists. So keeping in mind with the twists, you've got some arm options. Do whichever one you prefer. And let's just see this through for this final round. Also, as you feel your body getting ready, being much better prepared, ready to work, you can increase the pace or the level of intensity that you bring to your warm-up moves. So if you are starting to feel that way, go ahead and pick up the pace, make the movements a little stronger, a little crisper, a little more athletic. We're going to start to wind this down now, come center, and let's peel off our shirt. That being said, I don't want to pressure you into doing more than you're ready for. So that was one of my big mistakes for a long time, was doing too much too soon, and I just wasn't ready, right? I wasn't listening to my body. My body was telling me, I need a little bit more time, Julia. I need a little more heat. I need a little bit more mobility. You're pushing me too hard too soon. But I didn't really listen. So please learn from my mistakes. And if it does feel, like you're not ready to rock, then continue to go at a slower pace. Keep things a little softer, a little lighter. Yeah, you don't have to get aggressive. Let's do hinge squat stand. You don't have to get aggressive with yourself unless you want to, unless that's what's calling to you, right? There's so much in our culture that says bigger, faster, stronger, like more is better. And that is not the case a lot of the time, right? So don't let yourself be brainwashed by that kind of messaging. Listen to your body's cues, because your body's cues will rarely deceive you. Really what happens, let's alternate our leg swing. More often what happens is we don't have the skill to listen. We don't know how to interpret the messages, right? So it's not as simple as listen to your body. I don't really use that phrase too much because I think it's way more nuanced than that. You hear it a lot, but it's not helpful advice if you don't know how to interpret. So it would be like, you know, going to say a sushi restaurant, a Japanese restaurant, everything's in Japanese. I can't read the menu, right? So let's do plank with twists. So the information is there, but I don't have the skill to make sense of it, right? So when you quote unquote listen to your body, you have to have skill for the listening process, and it takes time to develop that skill. But one of the ways to do so is just what we're doing right here, right? Giving yourself some time to work with your body today and to keep checking in and be like, do I want to go faster? Do I want to go slower? Do I want to do, you can come up to stand. Do I want to do more rounds? Maybe 3 rounds at 45 seconds isn't enough for you. Maybe it's too much for you. So please, this is a very adaptable routine. You can do more at this point. Now that you've seen the whole video, in the future, you could do less, right? So please use it in the way that it serves you best. I'm out of breath a little bit. I'm starting to get a little shine, so I know I'm ready for my workout today. Thank you for giving this your time and your attention, and for letting me babble at you while we warmed up together. I hope you feel great and you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you next time. Bye.